Hey guys, and welcome back to another Virtualence video. In today's video, we're going to be moving my Polyrhachis Ammon colony. So, let's get into it. Alright, so it's been a while that I've had these guys in a nest for, and they've completely exploded in population after I brood boosted them, and they're pretty much taking up every single level of the nest, so I think it's time for them to move. I'm going to be moving them into a medium-sized ytong nest, as you can see here, and this one is pretty good. It's like perfect size for them. It's just the level above. It's got 2 ports for hydration as well as 2 nest connecting ports, which will assist us later in the moving of the ants. Unfortunately, when the nest came, it had a big chip out of its side. Luckily, this doesn't make the nest dysfunctional and it still works perfectly fine. Another thing I've noticed just now is that the connecting ports to the hydration holes are completely off. So whoever put the acrylic on didn't realize that they put it on the wrong way. So you can see it's on both sides, so we're gonna have to fix that up now. Okay, so now that I've finished unscrewing all the bolts, we just need to pry this acrylic off. So it can be a little bit difficult if it's been sitting on there for a while, so I'm just going to try to use this dented corner to assist me. Okay, so after a while I got it off, and you can see that the acrylic is pretty dirty, so we're going to go give it a quick clean, and we'll be right back. Okay, so now the acrylic is clean. We just need to line up the holes correctly, put it back on, and screw everything back on. A quick tip for you guys is to make sure not to screw the bolts in too tight, as this can strip the acrylic and mark it. Since acrylic is super soft, you want to make sure you don't screw it in too tight. You only need it just tight enough to keep the nest lid down. Okay, so now that I've lined up the holes correctly and put all the bolts back in place, we now need to get some tubing from Bunnings, as I don't have the correct size tubing. Now, to get the correct size, we're going to need to quickly measure it with a ruler. So the tubing size is about 1.5 centimeters, so that's the size we're going to need. I'll be connecting this medium-sized ytong nest to one of these Os Ants acrylic outwells. And I really like this nest because you've got the sliding lid, which you can drop your food in, and you've also got the natural entryway where the ants come up from the bottom and go into the outwell. Okay, so now that we've got all the nest holes sorted out and the dimensions for the 2 connecting ports, we'll see you at Bunnings. Alright guys, so we're at Bunnings now, and we're just going to head over to the aisle with the tubing, so we'll see you there. Alright, so we're at the tubing aisle now, and we just have to check which tubing will fit. So we've got a little nest here just for reference size. That one's too small, goes right through. I'll try this one here. That one fits perfect. So let's grab that one. Okay, so now that we're home, we need to start the plan. So basically the first thing we're going to need to do is hook it up to this nest. Now to do this, we're going to use some of this tubing, and we're also going to block the main entrance hole first. So once we've blocked the main entrance hole, we're then going to grab all the stragglers that are in the outworld and drop them into the os ants outworld. Once we've done that, we'll connect the tubing up to the nest and block up one side and expose one of the nests to light and then leave the other one completely dark. So we're just going to put some of this cotton in right now. So now that we've got it blocked up as far as we can, we now need to grab all the workers out of the outworld and put them into the os ants outworld. Alright, so I finally finished putting all the workers into the new outworld. Now all we need to do is hook up some of the tubing that we got from Bunnings and attach it to the main nest entrance. Now before I do that, I'm just going to remove some of the walls of the outworld just to make it a little bit easier, and so I have to use less of the rope. Okay, so now that we got one of the walls out, we now need to cut a bit of the tubing and attach it to the main entrance hole. Now, before I add the tubing, I'm just going to really quickly plug up this one side of the nest, just to make sure that they don't escape and I don't forget. Now that that's done, we can hook up some tubing and cut it to size. Now, a problem that I've just encountered now is that the tubing is actually too big to fit in the main entrance hole, which means that we're going to have to grab some blue tack and attach it to the rim of the tube. So we're just going to quickly put that on around the rim of the tube, and now that we're done, we can now just pull out the cotton and stick it straight onto the nest and not worry about them coming out. So we did have one escapee worker, but we quickly herded him back into the new outworld. Now that we're all hooked up, I'm going to cover the main nest with one of my old mouse pads. This works pretty well because it's almost the same size and it's completely black, which will prevent as much light as it can from getting in. Once we've covered that nest up, we now need to expose the main nest to light. I'm also going to hydrate this nest just to see which side of the nest they like more. Now that we're all set up, we're going to use my desk lamp to put some light straight onto the nest. If you are using a hot light source, make sure not to put it too close to the ants, as if it heats up too much, it could kill them. Luckily my desk lamp doesn't emit much heat at all, so I could put it pretty close up to the nest and that would be completely fine. Now that we've got the main nest exposed to light, all we have to do is wait. During this time, I also took advantage of the double connecting ports on the ytong nest and I attached the outworld to it just to make the process a bit faster, so the workers from the outworld could meet up with the other guys from the nest. And finally, after a couple of hours, we finally managed to get them all to move into the nest. So I got them out of this old nest. You can see that's all discarded on the side. And we've got the new outworld, which I customized with some red sand and some rocks. And we've also got the main nest, which they've all moved into. So I'm just going to go ahead and lift this mouse pad up so you can see what's in there. So you can see the queen safely moved in and they've got all the cocoons and everything in there and they look quite happy. I really like the top-down view of the ytong as it makes the filming much better and the lighting as well is way better. When I was filming, I also noticed that they brought in these weird clumps of rubbish or something that they had from the old nest. Not 100% sure what it is or why they brought it in. but if you guys do know, leave a comment down below. You can see they've brought big clumps of it, and they've also brought it all over the nest. Some of it is down here, and is also in other parts of the nest too. So leave a comment down below if you know what it is. I also noticed that the side that I hydrated, which was the left side, they didn't seem to like, and they seemed to like the drier side of the nest. Now, I've heard people say already that Polyrhachis do like a drier type of nest, but I just wanted to try it for myself and see if the suspicions are true. So as you can see, they do prefer the dry side, but if you guys do have a double pot, you should definitely water only one side so they can choose which side they like more. Anyway guys, that about concludes this week's video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below if you want, and don't forget to go check out our current giveaways that's happening. I'll leave a link down below in the description. Also, don't forget to go check out our Discord channel, as we do awesome giveaways and ant chats and trades and way more over there. So I'll leave another link down below. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Peace out.